People travel from all over to experience Broadway's talent firsthand on stage, but what goes on behind the scenes is just as impressive.
Right, and I got a rare chance to go behind the curtain of one of Broadway's most beloved shows of all time, Les Miserables.
Well, it's incredible to be back home where Les Mis began is really, really special.
The Les Mis fans are like the equivalent of like Trekkies or Star Wars fans.
It's huge news to Broadway buffs that Les Mis is back on the Great White Way, returning to the Imperial Theater, where the show ran over 5,200 times between 1990 and 2003.
This is a completely new design from the original, new direction, and a new set design, lighting design. Everything's new for this new production of the show.
We showed up an hour and a half before showtime to see everything that happens behind the scenes. Trinity Wheeler gave us the stage tour.
Scenery will be setting up for the first scene, which in this new production takes place on a ship, which is very different from the original Les Mis.
And it takes a lot of manpower to pull all this off.
I have 38 in the cast. There's 18 in the orchestra. Crew members, gosh, I mean, there's 40-something people on the crew easily.
So we went backstage to meet some of this crew, like Susan Corrado, who oversees all the hair, wigs, and makeup for the cast.
This is Casey Levy's Fontaine wig, where she's, before she gets her hair cut off to sell, to support her daughter.
And here are the wigs for after the dramatic scene.
We do a version where she doesn't have to cut her hair.
Susan's team has to restyle over 80 wigs before every show, so the actors can put on their hair quickly. They only have a half hour to get the entire cast ready for showtime, so the actors do their own makeup, with the exception of some prosthetics and special effects.
It's a silicone piece.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that has like a sticky thing on there that we put on there. And it comes in a pizza box.
Next, we made our way through all the nearly 200 multi-piece costumes backstage. It takes up to 8 hours of laundry every day just to keep up with all the wear and tear.
How many members of the cast have you seen naked?
A lot. A lot. But I don't tell.
That's Helen Toth, the wardrobe supervisor, who's seen it all after 30 years in the business.
You deal with pregnancies, you deal with weight gain, you deal with weight loss, you deal with body image, you deal with the needs for the show. You know, people not knowing how to move in a period costume.
Back on stage, the actors arrived and we're doing an abbreviated run-through.
What you see behind me is the fight call. Daily, they work out all the physical scenes to make sure that no one gets hurt come showtime.
Hi, come on in.
That's musical director Jim Lau, who took us under the stage to the orchestra pit.
The main thing I do is conduct the shows. Right here is where the woodwinds, clarinets, and oboe. We have a whole percussion setup, and he hangs out behind this glass to protect everyone else from the noise. Because you can imagine the cymbals down in this room.
And the pressure's on Jim if an actor messes up on stage.
Hopefully that never happens, but when it does, everybody in the pit watches me, and I try to figure out how to best fix it.
But sometimes it does happen, as Nikki James, who plays Eponine, told us when she invited us back to her dressing room.
I just looked into his eyes and I thought, that is not what I'm supposed to be saying right now. And then it was like momentary, and then you just get right back in it.
There are no second takes in the theater, so these Broadway pros keep it going, always wanting to deliver the best show for their devoted Les Mis fans. The Les Mis story doesn't give you the glitz and glam of some Broadway productions, but audiences are sure to love this classic show as much as the cast loves performing it.
I am literally living my dream every single night.
From the stage door to the front door.
Hi!
Hey!
The star of Aladdin takes us on a wild ride to show us what a day in his life is really like.
I'll come home and do the next feeding.
With Broadway Up Close, your backstage pass returns.